Assalamu alaikum جميعا. Good afternoon, everyone. So it's my pleasure today to welcome you all to this panel. I'm Hesham Nour Eldeen, and we will be discussing today one of the new topics and exploring the ideas in the modular construction, in the artificial intelligence, and in the smart city technologies. And these are not just buzzwords. I think these are game changers that we see them every day now. Probably in the field of the construction, the pace of the development is a bit slower than what we see in the industry. But I would say this has changed over the last 10 years, and in particular in the post-corona time where we see changes every day. We see the effect now of the revolution in the communication technologies. We see the revolution in the AI. We see the new way of designing and operating, maintaining everything. So today we are bringing together thought leaders who are really driving this change in the market in the Middle East and in UAE in particular. And we will discuss these ideas. So let's crack on, and then we will start talking about the first thing is that what are the safeguards that need to be ensured AI-driven urban planning aligns with the community needs and the ethical standards in rapidly growing cities. And I think we have Clem, who is expert in this, and if you share your thoughts, please.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Very nice being here. Very, very excited. In my professional work, I sit in this intersection between artificial intelligence and construction and infrastructure. And I'm extremely honored and excited to be here and share some thoughts with you. I think this question is extremely relevant, and we face it more and more and more. I think there are a couple of ways how we approach AI solutions, AI adoption and innovation to address risks, ethical concerns, especially in the rapidly developing environments. One area that we see industry is trying to do, and you've probably seen it, is truly engaging the human, the end user, the ultimate consumer of the infrastructure and construction that we are building. Even from the design and planning stage. Nowadays, developers, municipalities start adopting AI, digital twins, 3D visualizations of what might come, what might be built, and then enable seamless interaction to the broader sort of community to comment on that, to contribute, to provide the feedback, to help in the early stages. That way we are able to address a lot of nuances in the urban planning, urban design, to address all these needs. And I think one of the biggest risks we face today with AI is that sometimes we hide behind the algorithms, and sometimes on average we optimize the numbers, but sometimes we might miss the marginal consumer and the marginal user. So therefore I think it's very critical to enable also the access to provide feedback loop by the end users. And we can talk about also a little bit later, but I think that's one of the key things, how to address it.
Great. Thanks, Clem. I think after talking about the safeguards, it's good now to talk about the operation and maintenance. And the question is that how do AI and IoT contribute to the enhancing of the operation efficiency and sustainability in the urban planning of smart cities? And if you share your thoughts, Ghiya, please, with us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hesham. And it's such a pleasure to be here at this inaugural first edition event of Abu Dhabi Infrastructure Summit. So today's buildings are really becoming active, intelligent, and connected ecosystems that can sense, learn, and adapt in real time. We have sensors that can gather tons of information on heating, ventilation, occupancy patterns, even external conditions. And AI can be used then to synthesize this information and actually be used to optimize energy use, increase occupant comfort, reducing carbon footprint without even compromising operational efficiency. And so as we look at the Middle East and how cities are embracing technologies and the ambitious climate goals, as well as the population growth, if technology has become, technology in buildings has become such an important place to implement innovation and AI. And it's really important to make sure that we use this AI to enhance the outcomes overall. It's not a tool that is a futuristic promise. It's a tool that is here today. It is actually a cornerstone of how buildings will operate in the future, and how urban infrastructure will be connected, will be intelligent, and AI will be used for that. To kind of highlight how AI is ready to use today, Honeywell even recently had a study where more than 80% of building managers want to increase AI use to increase operational efficiency, whether that's on predictive maintenance or energy optimization, or using technologies that for smart systems that adapt to the conditions of the building and how it's being used in real time, right? So the future of planning in urban infrastructure has to incorporate both AI and IoT at the heart of it.
That's great. Thank you. I think moving now from the AI and the smart cities, there is a linked but a completely big subject is the modular construction. So it's good to hear from Hesham about how can modular construction be scaled across diverse urban landscape without compromising architectural identity and cultural heritage.
Thank you, Doctor. First, thank you all for having us here today. First of all, scaling modular construction requires having flexible design framework where it allows for localized customization that can be done within a standardized system. In other words, that means that we can use an approach similar to a kit of parts approach, where parts or modular components can be rectified or can be tailored to reflect local material and urban fabric. And in addition to that, it can blend easily and smoothly within the look and feel of the city. So if I take it from ADVIC side, we at ADVIC, we don't look at modular construction as a one-size-fits-all solution. We look at it as a flexible system that can be designed to reflect local culture and architecture through using the right material, right layouts, color combinations that reflects Abu Dhabi unique identity. For example, if we take facade treatments and community spaces, they can be modular, but yet aligned with conventional or traditional architecture. Let it be an Islamic geometric patterns or any type of patterns. And actually, since we're today talking about modular construction and AI, a lot of IT technologies can support in this, like the digital twin simulation that DMT is adopting recently. It can give the tool to test the visual and, I would say, functional integration of modular construction into the surrounding environments. So for us at ADVIC to facilitate this, we work closely with local communities, urban developers, and urban planners at the early stages of capital projects development to ensure that our projects are preserving the heritage of the areas that we're considering for development. In addition to that, to make sure that community values are embedded into the built environment. So modular construction doesn't need to be plain or generic. It can be beautiful, efficient, and even very local and cultural friendly.
That's very good and very insightful. I think if I share one of the examples of the modular construction with, I think, majority of us live in Abu Dhabi, and I can give one example talking about bridges, which is my specialty, the Yafina Causeway, where it's a true example of using modular construction. Most of the causeway is done by arches. These arches are probably, you can produce them in the factory tens or hundreds every day. You construct them, the labor and the engineers on site, they get familiar how to install quickly, and then that helps at the end that you can construct in a very efficient way, and also can construct in on time, on budget, with a very good quality. That's one of the examples we see every day in Abu Dhabi. on another aspect, I think we start seeing as developers or as engineers, we start seeing the term of the public sector partnership and the PPT bids in recently. So we have a representative from the private sector, we have a representative from the public sector. So both Clem and Hesham, if you please share your ideas about how will the public sector partnership evolve to integrate modular AI and smart technologies while maintaining cost efficiency and visitor returns. So we'll start with the private sector. Clem, if you share your ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, what I'll try to do, I'll try to be a little bit provocative and dream a little bit, because I think this is truly the future where public and private truly works together towards a common goal. And I think nowadays it's even more possible and has bigger potential than ever before. And I'll try to approach this topic from two different angles. From one side, the novelty of innovation that we have in the technology, in the sensors, in the hardware, in the connectivity, in the algorithms is skyrocketing. Every year we're having new and new and new innovation. So it's actually very difficult to imagine a public entity that has its own core functions focusing on delivering certain services that are mandated to it, kind of become almost like a tech giant, right? It would be very difficult to imagine them building data centers, having army of data scientists, developing algorithms, etc., etc. So I think this is a ground for truly two entities coming together, bringing each other's strengths, and bringing these new innovative products and services into the public domain. Think of smart parks, smart infrastructure. You can reimagine how public services are provided. And I think this is one angle that is truly coming, and I'm already seeing firsthand the first amazing examples here locally as well as abroad. But then the other angle, which is also extremely powerful, it's not necessarily news, but I think more and more public sector realizes that they're sitting on a gold mine. They're really sitting on a gold mine of data, of intelligence, that the private sector would do anything to get their hands on it. And I think within constraints, regulatory frameworks, and data privacy laws, there are a lot of opportunities for connecting and tapping into vast amounts of data that are being generated in public sectors. Think all the sensors, all the devices, all the cars, all the traffic cameras, all the traffic lights. And then you can be dreaming what type of services you can bring into other products as outside of the core domain. And I think that's another area where we might see more and more partnerships evolving to have a win-win situation for both public and private.
Great, thank you. Hesham, if you share your point of view from the public sector domain.
Actually, at ADVIC, we first of all, thank you, Clem, for the private sector feedback. We currently at ADVIC seeing a huge shift actually in how partnerships are structured. It's not anymore about just funding the projects. It's more about mutual benefits, performance, and longer sustainability. So if we look at modular construction and AI, they provide us with tools that can be easily used to progress monitoring in real lifetime and reduce delays, even reduce material waste, which results in delivering projects, I would say, faster with a better predictability. If we look at this, in fact, it's beneficial for both parties, government and private sector. For the government, it gives a better outcome, and when it comes to the private sector, it gives them better returns on their investment. So, what is most important here to mention that we at ADVIC, in coordination with other government entities, we are working on reducing the risk for private sector. That through providing pre-allocated lands, access to infrastructure, data infrastructure, so they can execute projects more efficiently, and even fast-track the approval processes to streamline the issuing permits and all the I would say formalities related to projects. These efforts and measures, in collaboration with other enablers that are being offered by the government, we believe are shortening timelines, and making sure that partnership opportunities are being more attractive for private sectors. On the other side also, at Advic we have efforts and we're trying to change how we are looking at value. It's not anymore about buying, let's say, acquiring the lowest cost. It's more focusing about building smarter. We are focusing on efficiency, long-term performance, I would say, sustainability, not only on upfront savings. So I would say to wrap this up, we are seeing that partnerships are being more collaborative, data-driven, more result-oriented, and we believe with applying the right tools and providing the right support, we can build faster, smarter, with cost-effective, I would say, or cost-effectively, while having no compromises on the quality and the outcome that was desired by the, I would say, the initial capital project. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's hope that these insightful thoughts will come into the reality and see some of these projects coming in the picture. I think there is huge amount of projects coming now in UAE and the Middle East in general, and I think the private public partnership will help a lot in that. Thank you for your thoughts. So moving now to the collaboration. So how can collaboration facilitate the development of integrated solutions to address the city scale challenges and contribute to building smart cities of the future? So Ghiya, if you share your thoughts on this, please.
Absolutely. And what makes the Middle East uniquely positioned to lead in this is the willingness to leapfrog legacy systems and really adopt AI and digital innovation. If you look at the mega projects that are happening across the region, whether it's in the UAE, Saudi, Qatar, Egypt, and many others, of course, they're not just architectural feats, right? They are actually test beds for technology. And you can see that happening. And I would say that no one company, right, can do that alone. And so it has to be a collaboration to enable that ecosystem, to enable an urban infrastructure that is connected, where you can connect, for example, HVAC systems, lighting, security, fire, right? So that enhances the safety, it enhances energy efficiency. And so as these cities look at, and countries look at these ambitious climate goals and, again, population growth, the ones that actually embrace the digital transformation are the ones that are going to thrive, right? So we talked about, for example, digital twins before. It's come up before. We use it, for example, to make sure that we can predict outcomes. We can deploy smart cities faster. And of course, that is always underpinned by cybersecurity, AI-driven cybersecurity now. And you know, if we look at how we deal with things, right, and if you look at even the extensive portfolio that Honeywell has, we can't do it alone. So we've got a strategic partnership with Cisco, for example, on AI and automation and energy. We've got a collaboration with JLL where we look at how do we do smart cities very well and how do we replicate it and so on. We also work with customers directly, right? So you know, to the earlier point and the public-private collaboration, it is about outcomes and results-driven outcomes, and it's not just buying a box solution. So you have to create a solution with them. Here in the UAE, we worked with Hamdan University, for example, to to optimize their energy use using AI, and we were able to do more than 10% in savings. We have other examples in Egypt, for example, in the administrative capital, where we did a whole smart city integration. We worked with Riyadh airports to optimize energy use. And I bring these examples because it's not just, if you look at buildings, right, or infrastructure, it's not your typical buildings or conference center. It can apply to every single structure that we have, right? And it will take more than one company to actually make that a reality.
That's great. Thank you very much. I think we have a little bit of time, and then the term of the digital twin was mentioned probably 3-4 times today, and I would like to probably ask one question and take the opinion of 3 of the experts here. Do you think that at some time the digital twin will replace the physical model that some of the authorities are requesting these days? Will it happen in the near future? Because some of the projects so far, you will find that part of the requirement is to provide a physical maquette for whatever the bridge or the building or whatever. So do we anticipate that will happen? So I think we start with Clem coming here, Hesham.
Very good. So I don't want to put words in anyone else's mouth. So I would focus more from the capabilities point of view rather than the regulatory point of view. I think if you think purely from technology and AI and modeling capabilities point of view, I think nothing stops us from doing, because at the end of the day, if you submit your architectural drawings, if it's a complex drawing, you submit it in a BIM file. I think there's a panel on it afterwards. In any case, everything is digital. Everything is a computer program with all the calculations and mathematics and visualizations, including the digital twin. So I think technologically, nothing stops us from it. I think the better question is, should it replace or not? I would ask what it adds, what additional capabilities it adds. And I think I already mentioned in the ethics and risk management angle, the big benefit of a digital twin, if we really step back, is that it's a 3D, for example, visual that you can give to everyone, and everyone can see, touch, feel, interact, see in a single source of truth. And that adds a lot of power, reduces risks, improves compliance, and speeds the whole thing. I think that's a bit of a capability angle answer.
That's great. Thank you. Leah?
I tend to agree with Clem. I think digital twins augment and add value, right? It's not necessarily going to be, there's regulation potentially, right? And some customers will still require it, and that's okay. But it's more about what capabilities can it add? How can you use it to even test more outcomes, right? Or capabilities that you can then, instead of risking implementation on the physical infrastructure, how can you use it in the digital twin first, right? And then look at how you can implement it faster. And so I think it's a benefit net, whether or not it replaces. I don't think that's it's fine either way, right?
Thank you. Sam?
Yeah, having all that said, as they mentioned, the digital twin is a tool where it can add to the existing ecosystem. We can see buildings or cities on a 3D models, and we can go through and surf through the information in an easy way, user-friendly for different types of users. So at this stage, we might be using it to test the future plans, and do some impact analysis, maybe in a less disturbance way. But maybe in the future, the digital twin, in collaboration with the spread of BIM being used by main developers and contractors, digital twin might be one source of truth for drawings or shop drawings. So everyone who wants to use it as a reference, it will give us this benefit as one source of truth. But to replace the existing, I would say, systems or permits issuing processes, this is something that has to be looked from different point of views. One of them is the regulatory rules or laws that we have to follow, and how we make sure that all this information is documented in a proper way for future. So yeah, it might be a tool to add, but not to replace as of now. Yeah.
No, I was expecting that. Thank you. So I think at the end of the panel, I would like to thank the 3 experts we have. They add a lot of insightful thoughts about the subject, and thank you very much for your contribution and your ideas, and that's very good. And also thank you for the audience and for the organizers of the summit that allow us to share our thoughts with you. Along the breakout times and the time we have today, the experts will be available today. If you have any question, feel free to meet us in the breakout time, and we'll be more than happy to address any question you have. Thank you very much.